future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com. This is On Air with Tony Sweet, your number one source for all things entertainment, exclusive interviews, and guests from TV, film, the Broadway stage, and your favorite musical artists of today. Talking shop is a given, but deep conversation is Tony's specialty. On Air with Tony Sweet starts now, exclusively on UBN Radio.
Okay, this is On Air with Tony Sweet. It's Wednesday. Yes, it is, and I'm so excited for the hump day. I am your host, Tony Sweet, on Universal Broadcasting Network. Yes, I am, and I guess I'm going to have a couple new co-hosts today. I'm excited to have here in studio Ron Frierson. You might know him. You might have seen him on Champions Row with Billy Davis.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Good to be here.
There's the voice. There's that voice. Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, man. It's good to be here. I had to fight traffic to get over here.
Oh, in L.A.?
Oh, my
That's
God.
a shock. And then from the morning show and AfterBuzz, we have Erica Renee Davis.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I was so excited when Tony asked me to co-host because the Morning Score airs every other Wednesday, so I was happy to be here with you on my off week.
I know. And we're going to go ahead and introduce our first guest, but we're going to give him a better introduction after a bit because I want him to part of this conversation, not what we were talking about earlier, but we have NFL star, actor, and all-around good guy right here, and he needs to get a little bit better shape, but we have Thomas Q. Thomas Q.
Jones.
I was going to say Davis. I'm like, that's not right. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Get up on that mic there.
Good, brother. There we
the
go.
voice.
Now
There's
you can
another
hear,
voice.
right?
All right. The reason I wanted to have you on before we introduce you for real, we have coming up with Thomas, but I want to talk about this thing that happened with Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay. I've been in sports and in entertainment. All of us have been in entertainment or sports in some way. I want to know, going around the room, I want you to give me your best Lenny Kravitz accident. Have you ever had something completely embarrass you?
I don't even know what happened to Lenny.
Oh, you didn't know what happened? Okay, so was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
So
Yeah.
yesterday he's performing,
Yeah.
and he wearing these really tight leather pants,
Yeah.
and he bends down, well, kind of like, I don't know, sits down on the stage real quick, and his pants split, and his thing just drops out because he's not wearing underwear.
You know, I'm not surprised. I was creeping once in Marina Del Rey, and it was in the middle of the day, and I come out the place I was creeping in, and Lenny Kravitz was coming out the same apartment
pants
complex.
was
I
split?
said, man, you can't creep like that, bro, because you stand out. He's got a huge head. Head is big.
Really? Is it
head
his hair or
Yeah.
is it his
No,
head?
his head.
His head
it's
is
like
big.
he has a skinny body and had these super tight, like, snake skin pants on. I said, you can't go incognito, like that. I didn't say. I tried to act like I didn't know who he was, but yeah, it was him. So I'm not very surprised at all because I saw how tight his pants are.
Oh, they
Oh,
were tight.
wow. Okay.
They were
Only
tight.
Prince can wear stuff like that.
But have you ever had that happen, like split your pants on the court when you were playing overseas?
Nah, I came up in the '90s, so we wore very baggy shorts, so that wouldn't happen. No, that wouldn't happen.
What's the guy that is it the Lakers that was adjusting his shirt and shorts that flashed the?
I know.
Oh, that was LeBron.
LeBron,
Yeah.
LeBron,
Yeah.
yeah, LeBron.
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
that
nothing like
accident.
that.
Yeah.
You just like didn't know
Nah,
somebody
I've
was.
never
looking.
really. No, whenever I've done it, it's been on purpose. So,
We got a streaker in the house.
yeah, no,
Hey,
well, I
they
don't
call him
streak,
the
but
streak.
if it's out, then it's purposely out because you know.
All right.
That's how I got arrested once. No, I was just kidding. What about you, Erica?
My Atlanta Falcons cheerleader sisters can attest to this. When I tried out for the Falcons, we had to wear tights for auditions. And right before we went on for finals at the Georgia Dome, one of my captains, who ended up being one of my captains, was like, "Erica, you have something on your leg," and she kept trying to wipe it off, and it was my tampon string
Oh my
hanging
God.
out, stuck between my stocking, and you wear bikini bottoms, so my tampon string was stuck between my stocking and my leg. And right before I go out to perform for finals,
Hold on before I
I'm like
throw
looking
up
at my
or something.
tampon string.
That's a good one.
That's
top that, Thomas.
I was gonna say,
I don't know if anyone
no,
can top
there's
that.
There's no possible way I'm topping.
It really happened. Kim Kennedy, if you're watching, she is the person who stopped me
Yeah,
to
I
show
think
me
people
that.
should be scared if I can top that one.
Have you?
some
I'm sure
questions
you've
to
had
answer.
something happen.
Yeah, in a game, a guy. I never would tighten my pants up really tight.
Oh no.
And a guy literally tackled me and grabbed the back of my pants, and I didn't
There it
wear
went.
a girdle under my pants. I just
man.
wore a jock strap, and and the guy pulls my pants down, and I'm laying there literally on top of the pile and
top.
mooning the whole stadium.
Did you get a standing applause?
Well, I was trying my best. It was a night game, so I'm dark skinned, so I don't think they could really tell. But I was like, oh no, and I was trying to hurry up and get up so I could get my hand back, but my hands were on the ball, so I wouldn't fumble. So I was just laying on top of the pile with my butt.
I'm sure
up in
your
the
people
air.
didn't help you at all.
No, not at all. No, everyone was looking at me like, what are you doing? Man, you gonna handle that? Take care of that. But yeah, and that happened a couple of times actually. But I forgot who we were playing. It was a Sunday night game. We were playing in Chicago. And it was cold too, so my ass was pretty cold and chapped. So it's pretty embarrassing.
Well, before we get started, Ron, I want you to introduce yourself because a lot of people, my audience, doesn't know who you are. So,
Okay. All right, real short. Well, Ron Frierson. I was a co-host and contributing member of the team that brought Champions Row Radio with Billy Davis to UBN Network. I have a pretty diverse background. I played professional basketball for almost 5 years in Australia and in France. I'm from Michigan originally, and I went to undergrad and grad school in Kansas,
Hey,
Tony's
Kansas.
home state. I'm currently a vice president at CBRE of a national consulting practice, and I also have a small staffing firm that has only one client, which is Universal Studios.
oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna launch a show with
What?
UBN Network.
What?
Focus with Ron Frierson, and that show is going to be based primarily on business, politics, current events, things that fall within my wheelhouse. I used to work with Kathleen Sebelius, who was the Health and Human Services Secretary for President Obama, also representing Governor Sam Brownback, was the governor of the state of Kansas. Yeah, and I was
You're funny.
on a business and economic development advisory committee for Mike Fuhrer, who was once an assemblyman. Now he's the California city attorney. So, all over the place. And I got a hell of a jump shot, and I can still dunk at 42 years old. So,
What?
there you go.
I couldn't even when I was 18. I was too fat.
That's it.
All right. Well, Erica, tell us about the Morning Score and tell us about your career.
All right. From Georgia, small town, Waycross, Georgia. What'd you say?
I said peach.
I'm a Georgia Peach. I'm really a Georgia Bulldog. Go Dogs, sick 'em. Double majored in broadcasting and political science. Actress, host the Morning Score here at ubnradio.com. Your top of day fix for professional and for college sports and for gaming. We also cover pop culture, entertainment, news, social issues as
They
well.
get into it too.
And
I'll
we
tell you.
and we fight.
They do.
We fight on the show.
Troy found that out.
And I also created the Girls Guide to Game Day, which is all-female panel talking about sports, but in a non-intimidating way. Essentially, I grew up, a huge daddy's girl, tomboy of sorts, but still a girly girl. And a lot of women are often intimidated by sports because they feel like it's barbaric and it's so much of a gladiator concept. They don't understand there's so many different storylines that all women can relate to. So the Girls Guide to Game Day is basically teaching people that you don't have to be afraid of sports because it's still a chess match at the end of the day. And I host for AfterBuzz TV, and I write. I'm an actress. LA.
She
You
does-
do everything.
And she was.
Everything.
I saw her video earlier. She was twerking.
Oh,
Girl,
you was working?
I was like, wow.
Let me explain.
I was like,
Let me explain.
my hip popped
do
out
tell.
watching it. Right?
I was twerking because I was cast in a web series called Posers about two white girls who quit law school. I'm not white.
To
so,
twerk?
To twerk. to pursue careers in rap. And I'm their nemesis. So I'm the actual girl from the hood, who is the real rapper who they get into it with and who kind of helps them along the way but kind of becomes a frenemy of sorts. So I was twerking because we were shooting the first episode. And that was a part of that storyline.
And did you have to train to twerk, or did you already have your twerking abilities already intact?
I am from the South, so we know how to twerk by nature.
I don't believe you. I don't believe
Yeah, I
you.
think
Shows.
we need to.
I will show
to see
you.
that.
I'll show you after the show. But yeah, that's why I was
After?
twerking.
What the? That's no good.
You know, we'll see.
We need ratings. Come on.
Let me think about this, Tony. Let me get my mind right.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going to go to our first guest. Well, our only guest.
Our only
But
guest.
I'm excited to have him here. He is one of the 25, I think, top rushers in NFL history. Over 10,000 rushing yards.
Wow.
When I saw that, I was like, my God, my feet kill me right now. But you have been with some of the greatest teams out there. We have the Tampa Bay, New York Jets, Chicago Bears, Kansas City Chiefs. Go Chiefs.
Chiefs
Yes.
Nation.
And Pro Bowl selection, NFL champion, or NFC champion. And now you're an actor. And it's kind of the theme that Ron is, professional basketball transitioning to what he's become. And I'm interested to find out what Thomas Q. Jones has to say.
Thomas Q.
Thomas Q in the
Yes,
house.
yes.
Wait, what does the Q stand for?
Q stands for Quinn.
Quinn. Thomas Quinn.
Okay.
Thomas Quinn Jones,
like
the
that too.
first.
The
The
first.
first.
I
The
like
first.
that.
Yeah.
Is there a
so-
second already?
No.
Okay.
No.
Knock
Not
knock on some wood.
Not,
first.
He's like, no.
not that I know of.
Don't get any ideas out there,
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah. We don't need people
No,
knocking on
not
the door.
now, but hopefully, in the future.
Okay.
there will be.
Well, let's start years ago, when you started in playing sports. I mean, definitely, you said you started when you were a kid.
Yeah.
What 4?
I
Seven?
started 7 years old. I started playing football at 7. I'm from Virginia, a very small town, 4,500 people. And
That's a
it's
small
like-
town where I'm from. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have one stoplight, and I mean downtown. So I guess
We have yield
you know,
signs.
Oh yeah. Well, yours is way smaller. So mine's a medium town, I guess. But yeah. I mean, it's like Friday Night Lights. Football is everything. Football is everything. And my uncles played football. My father played football. My brother played football. My cousins, and I ended up playing at my high school. Played there, was an All-American. High school's Powell Valley High School. I have to give them a shout out.
What is it called?
Powell Valley High School.
Powell Valley
Powell
High
Valley.
School.
Yeah, they
Okay.
they actually took they combined my school with another school, and I'm still a Viking. They changed the name to the Union Bears, but I'm a Viking, so I always have to say Powell Valley Vikings, so everyone knows I'm a Viking. So I played at Powell Valley High School for 4 years, and I was an All-American. Coming out of high school, I was rated the second best running back in the country coming out of high school. Which
After
was
who?
Great.
Who was number one? That year?
Number one was actually a guy named D'Angelo Evans
And
from
where's he
Wichita.
at now?
He's
No,
from
I'm just
Wichita.
kidding.
He was
Yeah,
from
I remember
Wichita,
his name.
Kansas.
Yeah, I remember
He went
his
to
name.
Nebraska. He went to Nebraska, and I mean, I went to. It came down to Notre Dame in Virginia, and I stayed home just because I wanted my family to be able to come see me play. And when I went on my visit to Notre Dame, I spent most of the time in the bathroom at the game because it was so cold. They played Navy, and I was like, no, I love Notre Dame, the Mystique, and the Irish, and all of that, but no, it's too cold. So I went to Virginia, played there for 4 years. When I went to college, I had 13 credits. I took physics and English in high school. So when I enrolled, I had 13 credits already. So I actually graduated a year early. I
I was
graduated
going
in
to say,
3
didn't you
years.
get an academic scholarship?
Well, it was an athletic scholarship, but I graduated a year early. I graduated in 3 years instead of 4. And my 4th year, I was going to come out in the draft. I had a second round grade, but I was like, let me stay. Hopefully, I think Ricky Williams came out the year before. The year I was going to come out, Edgerrin James, and I ended up staying, and it was a great decision. I was a consensus All-American. I was the 7th pick in the draft, and I need 15 credits for my master's, so it all worked out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Went to
Fantastic.
Arizona, was drafted there in 2000, and had a couple tough years there. It was really, really hard just because I was so far away from home. I'd never really been away from the East Coast, and the time difference and missing my family.
Did you
was,
cry yourself to sleep at night?
No,
just
I
rocked.
just, yeah. I mean, I was I was depressed because I'm a 21-year-old kid,
Oh yeah.
and your
Yeah.
dream has come true.
Yeah.
But your friends, your family are not there to share it with
Exactly.
you. You have to adjust, and but it was a great learning experience for me. I had to grow up really, really quickly, and was traded to Tampa Bay. I had a really good season in Tampa Bay the 1 year I was there. I signed a free agent deal with the Chicago Bears. That's kind of when my career kind of started to blossom. I ended up having my first 1,000-yard season, and then in 2005, and then the next season we went to the Super Bowl and played the Colts in Super Bowl 41, and it was a great year, great experience. We didn't win, but just the experience. I had over 100 yards in Super Bowl 41. It was a great
Wow.
experience.
That's awesome.
great.
yeah.
That is.
So do you consider yourself a bear more than anything else?
No.
No.
I consider I don't consider myself a Bear more than any other team, or a Jet or a Buck or a Chief or a Cardinal. I think all those teams meant something special to me,
Yeah.
and it's more about my experiences. What people don't realize is that the NFL is a business. When you get to the NFL, it's you don't play for these teams. You're an employee for these teams. I was traded to the Jets after Super Bowl and played there for 3 years. Then I was released after my best season. I was second in the NFL in rush in touchdowns and like third in rushing yards, 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns. And I was released because I was owed a roster bonus. So I was released the day
money.
before my roster bonus. And I signed with Kansas City. So that's when I ended up going to Kansas City and finishing my
That's
career.
where most of my friends are like, "Hey, what's KC?"
Yeah, Kansas City. So I had my NFL experience was amazing. I really got a chance to live in so many different regions and experience and enjoy just the different cultural differences, and it just helped me grow. Traveling is truly something that people need to try to do.
They do.
It opens your mind up to so many more things. And
A lot of people don't have the opportunity. There's
Yeah.
people in
That's a
my
good
hometown
point,
that
yeah.
really that are 60 years old and they've been to Oklahoma and Missouri.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
people here in LA that don't travel to other parts of LA,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's true. So I have a quick question for you, Thomas. Do you think that a lot of the players these days recognize it as a business more so than your generation, or less so? Because you know how you get everybody thinks they're special, right? And they think
Yeah.
that they'll be with this team forever. Do they really understand that we are employees, so to speak?
Well, I think with age you do. I think when you're young, you're so excited that your dream is coming true that it doesn't even hit you.
Yeah.
I've been in training camp. I was in training camp for 12 years, and it gets to the point to where you see young guys come in and unfortunately, they're not going to make the team, and you just see their eyes they're like so happy and excited. And they have their jersey, and their family comes to training camp, and you
you're
kind of
going
become numb to it.
Yeah.
The Grim Reaper comes around the locker room taking up playbooks, is what we call him, the Grim Reaper. And already, if you're a late pick or if you're a free agent, you're there pretty much. You'll have a chance to make the team, but you're there for the starters to kind of beat up on and to get ready for the season. That's just the harsh reality of it. And I think now with social media and with the different platforms, that players have a lot more access to information than we had when I came in 2000. The internet, we didn't have the internet like that. Social media wasn't as relevant. And for us, we were robots. We were robots. We didn't know anything about concussion, CTE, any of those things. We did exactly what we were asked to do, and that was just the way it was. And we didn't have all the information that the younger players have now. So I hope that they're understanding it at an earlier age. But because you come into this, it's such a huge deal. The NFL is the number one sport in the country. Now it's expanding across the globe. I played in the Tokyo Bowl in Japan in 2003.
Okay.
And at that time I wasn't really a big name in the NFL, and as soon as we get off the plane, we're in the airport, and there's all these Japanese fans that have my trading cards and my jersey, and I'm like, I just got traded here, literally
Yeah.
a month ago. The NFL is a global phenomenon, so hopefully with all this information, these guys are picking it up now.
So, what's the influence you think of the Players Association? Because right now, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the major sports, it seems like the only player association that's not holding up his end of the bargain is the NFL. Because you look at this monopoly money that the NBA is making, baseball's been doing it for years, the protection, the guaranteed contracts. They're not doing it in mass or in aggregate in the NFL like they would do in these other professional sports. Now, do players like you and players with a voice that have been an alumni of that league, do you guys kind of work with the Players Association to try to make rules that benefit the players more so? Not just the health stuff, but that along with the financial sort of stability.
Yeah. The thing is, we have a totally different setup. We play 16 games. These other teams, they play 80 games. Baseball, they play like 1,000 games.
Too many games. Baseball's ridiculous. Don't even
so
start
we
it.
have
Baseball.
16 games, and then the percentage and the chance of you being injured in football is higher
So
than
the
any of those
risk
other
is
sports.
higher.
So from that perspective, it's like,
Yeah.
how do you guarantee a full contract with a guy that could get paralyzed in practice
Yeah.
the next day, or rupture his Achilles, or break his forearm? I mean, I've seen some gruesome injuries being an NFL player, and been a part of some gruesome injuries, and I was fortunate enough not to have any myself. But yeah, the setup's different in the NFLPA. I think they do the best job that they can with what we have. The NFL, the NFL brand, the NFL Shield will never go anywhere, no matter what. Doesn't matter. That NFL Shield is not going to be compromised for any player, for any situation.
For Tom Brady.
They're not even Tom Brady. Not even Tom Brady. The NFL is the NFL. These are billionaire owners. I worked for 5 billionaires. I didn't play for the Jets. The funny thing is, a lot of guys don't even know who they play for the Jets and don't even know that this guy's like Johnson and Johnson. So a fan may go to the game and they may buy but they buy 2 tickets is $200, and then they'll pay for parking, which is $40, and then you'll have a beer and a hot dog and then your kids. So you spend about $100, and then later on that night you have a newborn baby, so you go buy baby powder and Q-tips. So you've just given this man,
I never thought about
part
it,
of your
but
check.
that's real. Yeah.
Really?
And it's a business. That's why I say, when I walk in the facility at 6:30 a.m., I put on my Jets t-shirt, Jets shorts, Jets visor, a Jets sweatshirt, and that's our uniform. That's what we wear. It's like you work at UPS or FedEx.
That's true.
You know,
Okay.
it's a corporate structure, and if you don't understand that, when you come into the league, you're in for a rude awakening, because when you become an NFL player and you sign that contract, you're an employee of that team, of that organization.
And that's
So-
an interesting perspective, because I think when, like, as a fan, you watch it and you think, oh, I don't want DeAndre Jordan to lead the Clippers because he's been there for
Yeah.
7 years. I'm gonna cry if he's gone. But the way you're speaking to it, it seems more of, I'm detached from the emotional aspect of these friends of this organization.
Yeah,
It is-
that's exactly
so,
what it
so there's
is.
no emotional attachment. Like when you get cut or you get traded, it's not like, oh, I'm so sad, I'm gonna cry.
There's emotional attachments because you get used to the team, you get used to the fans, you get used to wearing that uniform and giving everything you have, but at the same time, you're getting paid to do that. So it's almost like a job transfer.
That's
It's a
interesting.
job transfer. I went from Arizona, I was traded to Tampa Bay, so now I'm a Buccaneer. I played there for 1 year and I signed with Chicago. I had 3 really good years. I wanted a new contract. I wanted a new deal. I felt like I had 1 year left on my deal and I wanted a new contract, and they didn't want to give it to me and they didn't want to trade me. And I mean, they didn't want to release me. So they traded me. So now I'm a Jet.
Okay.
So now I'm in New York and I played there for 3 years, in my best season out of my whole career. I'm going to be 32 years old and they owe me a $3.2 million roster bonus on March 3rd, and they released me on March the 2nd because they have a younger back that they think can do the same thing I did for less. Then
Who
I
was
try
it?
to
Who was
Sean,
it?
Sean Green,
Okay.
who's a really good kid, good back, but they underestimated, my work ethic and my dedication, and they released me. So then I go to Kansas City, which was 4-12 the year before, and then right when I'm getting ready to sign my deal with Kansas City, they call my agent, they call Drew Rosenhaus and say, we want to match it. So you want to bring me back to your team for less money than you owed me $6 million for my 4th year. So now you want to give me 2.5 because it's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
They're
didn't- I
looking
never-
at spreadsheets, not just game tape.
Yeah.
And I never took it personal. I never. That's
Well,
why
that's
when you
good
said
you
am I,
didn't take
well, that's
it
why when you said am I a Bear, it's like no,
Yeah.
I love the Bears. They gave me an opportunity to do something I love. I love the Jets. I love the Cardinals. I love Tampa Bay. I love the Chiefs. I love them all the same because without those experiences, I probably wouldn't be who I am. So I look at the experiences and I look at the opportunities that I was provided. I don't look at how I was treated. I was paid.
Yeah.
I was paid to do a job. I'm an employee. I'm not a player. You're a player in high school. You're a player in college. When you get to the NFL, you're an employee. And as soon as you figure that out, then you can move forward with your career and understand the game. Like this is
And you can
Business.
tell the people that didn't after
Yeah.
after the
Oh,
fact.
yeah.
yes, for
When did
sure.
when did you decided that NFL was you're done? When what made you decide that?
I played. I think the average is 3 years or something like that. I don't know. I played 12 years of running back, and
Long time.
I wasn't the type of running back to really dodge people. I was very physical, very physical back. I loved contact. I was I loved the physicalness of the game. I loved the violence of the game. I was addicted to it, and it was who I was on and off the field. It affected me in a lot of ways because people don't understand who we are as football players. What we're trained to do every day. We're trained to. It's never. First of all, it's never good enough. No matter what we do, it's never good enough. I had 200 yards against Buffalo, my best game ever. It's still a Jets record, single game rushing record. We lost. You'd have thought someone died the next day at the facility. Didn't get any credit, didn't get any congratulations. We lost. We were watching film, and my coach goes, if you would have cut back on this play, you would have had 250 yards and we'd have won.
Really?
So it's never good enough. And I think when I started to get into my 9th, 10th year, and after this situation happened with New York, where I was like, man, I'm putting this work in. I was at work from 6:30 to 10. I was there as long as longer than the coaches sometimes, and just to not be rewarded for that work was like it was an eye opener, and it was like, okay, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah.
And so my last 2 years, I really was dedicated to helping the Kansas City Chiefs because they had a very, very young team, and I wanted to be a mentor to those guys. And I knew when I was in my locker studying my plays and guys were in their locker looking at World Star Hip Hop, I'm like, yeah, this is probably my it's time for me to go. So,
And also, there's such a negative stigma attached to "quote unquote" old running backs. So the fact that you played so many years is amazing as a running back. I also want to talk to you about CTE because you said that you want to donate your brain to science after
They
posthumously.
rejected me.
Well, of course they did, Tony. Why would they take your brain?
Like, keep it.
Your brain. But so knowing now what you know about concussions and about the dangers of CTE, and knowing that you want to donate your brain to science, one day when you have boys, are you going to allow them to play football? And have you been adversely affected by the concussions that you've either been diagnosed with or the concussions that you've had that went undetected? I'm sorry.
You need a pencil.
oh wow, yeah.
So,
Okay. Let me see. No, I got it. I'm just trying to process it because this is pretty deep. You know what? As far as my future kids, football made me who I am. It gave me. I used it as a platform to see the world, to grow, evolve as a person. The football scholarship that I earned to the University of Virginia, my experience at the University of Virginia molded me, and like really it opened my eyes up to the world, coming from a very, very small town, and then being drafted and going to the NFL and playing for so many different teams, and the West, playing on the West Pacific time, Central time, Eastern time. I mean, I was all over the place traveling. I flew so many places, and I visited so many cities that I would have never visited, and lived in places I would have never lived if it wasn't for football. So, and the cliches that come with the sport: work hard, dedication, hard work pays off, teamwork makes the dream work. All these things, to win in football, you have to do. And football is a mentally challenging game. So you have to get back up. You do well, you have to fight again because now somebody's trying to beat you. You lose, you have to go back harder because now you'll get beat again. So you always have to find that happy medium at some place. And that affects your life, your normal everyday life. So without football, I would not be as strong as I am mentally without the experiences. I mean, you're talking about a whole city hating your guts one game, 1 week, and the next week they love you. A whole city. I would have times where I didn't even, I'm like, if someone turned the TV to the ESPN, I'm like, are you crazy? I mean, sometimes like, don't turn the TV on, because when I was in Arizona, it was horrible. I mean, they labeled me as a bust, and I went from being a consensus All-American, the man, to being a bust
That's
in a
hard to hear.
year. It's like, you're awesome, you're great, you suck. The whole city says you suck. You walk in the stadium, you go in the game, the whole stadium is booing you. You go to the mall, and every rack is full with your jerseys because no one's buying them. So all those experiences molded me into who I am, and what I want my future kids to go through some of that adversity to help them grow as a person and the boys grow into men. Yeah, I would, but the cost of them scrambling their brain for that many years, and I'm 36, I'll be 37 in a few weeks, and I have a lot of issues from football. I mean, I had a lot of injuries, and I played hurt. You play with pain, and I had a lot of concussions. I had concussions when they were dings, when you got dinged, not concussions. And the worst concussions come from practice, not the games, because I'm on offense. I don't play both ways. But in practice, we the whole practice. We have our field, defense has their field, so we're always hitting each other. But you just learn to play with those things and you get adjusted. But your brain is the most powerful organ in your body, and it controls everything. And I would not want my kids to be 40 or 50 years old and can't remember how to get back home.
So tell me this: what remedy do you think the league could realistically come up with to help protect? Because I understand, and I played basketball, I didn't play football, but logic somewhat dictates that if you try to aim for not doing certain things, you can inadvertently hurt yourself in other ways, because it's just a natural motion to go in and try to tackle somebody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think that they're doing currently that's right and will help, and what do you think they could improve on to help?
That's a good question. I think they're doing the best that they can. It's football.
Yeah.
It's football, and I mean, you're going to get caught in awkward predicaments. If you're a defensive back and you're 175 pounds and I played at 225 and I'm coming around the corner and you're getting blocked by a receiver and you see me coming, you have to put your head down there to tackle me, or you don't tackle me. Now, you put your head down and tackle me, you're going to get concussion because I'm trying to knock your head off. But if you don't, then the fans are like, this guy can't tackle. So you can't win for losing. So naturally, you're going to put your head down and you're going to try to hit people with your head, because that's just the nature of the game, and you cannot change that. No matter what rules you put in, your instincts take over. That's why there's still so many 15-yard penalties, because if a guy can get a kill shot, if a guy can hit you, that's why you get paid. You get paid for the knockouts. You get paid. They talk about the knockouts. They don't talk about the regular tackles or the safe tackles. They talk about the knockouts. That's on ESPN Top 10. Those are the ones that people pay to see. They want to see that because fans live vicariously through us. Because we're able to live out our primal instincts as football players. We can be complete animals, and it's cool and it's okay. And the more of an animal you are, the more respect you get, the more money you make. And the fans love it. They love it. And it's different in boxing. Boxing is a brutal sport, but you see two hands coming.
Right.
In football, I'm like a zebra on defense, right? And on offense, and on defense is 11 lions. And they throw me. I'm a zebra, and I'm just running this 11 lions.
Dripping blood.
Yeah, and they've been starved. They haven't eaten in a week, and their checks on the line. They need to get that ball.
Yeah.
'Cause they got kids. They got diapers. They have to pay for baby
Houses, cars.
baby food and milk. And when you get to the NFL, it's high stakes, man. It's high stakes. This is everything.
Yeah.
And
it's not a game. I mean, we say it's a game, but it's not a game.
No.
Like you said, it's a business.
It's not a game. I saw a comment. I have a documentary I'm working on right now. It's
I saw
called
that.
The NFL Gift or the Curse, and it talks about all these kind of issues. Then I look at some of the comments and stuff just to kind of see what people are saying. And someone said something like, yeah, these guys get paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game. And I said, well, you show me a 6'7", 330-pound kid, and I'll give you my whole paycheck.
Right.
It's not a kid's game. This is a high stakes job where 1 minute you could be a hero, and the next minute you could be in a wheelchair. Now we know we make the decision to play this game, but without this game, there would be a mutiny in America. Look when we almost had the strike a couple years ago. That was going into my last year. I mean, no football.
Yeah.
People are able to breathe now. Football. And I don't even watch football. I don't watch football. The only thing I may watch is college, because I love the pureness of college football and high school. I love it. The NFL is great, but I would much rather watch college guys because it's a business. The NFL is a business.
I got a quick question for you along the lines of that business thing. Do you think Ray Rice will get back in the league?
Yeah. And do you think he deserves a second chance? Do you think he deserves a second chance?
I think that, first of all, we all make mistakes, and we're not we're not perfect. And I think, unfortunately, when you're in the public eye like this, we're put on a pedestal, and sometimes guys don't really ask to be put up there. I think Ray Rice, what he did was horrendous. I have 5 sisters. I would hope that a man wouldn't think to do that to my sister because it'd be a serious problem.
Absolutely.
Serious problem. But at the same time, I'm not in his shoes, and I'm not perfect. And I think a lot of people use certain situations that we get into to make them look better. And I think that's kind of the part that I don't agree with. It's certain people, if you've ever done that before, if you've ever hit a woman and you're saying F Ray Rice, then what does that say about you? I think Ray Rice, I think he's been very apologetic. I think he's done everything he can possibly do to earn the public's trust back, and I think his wife is supporting him, his daughter supporting him, his family supporting him. And I think sometimes we need to take tragedies like this and turn them into positive stories because you give people hope. You give people hope when you turn a negative into a positive.
Let me ask a devil's advocate point of view because, I mean, and we just keep it real. The odds of the first time you laying your hands on your woman happen to be that time that you're on camera and you do it so cavalierly, like casual about it, it leads me to believe it wasn't his first time. That's number one. So that aside, I don't really feel sorry in that regard. But what I do have somewhat of an issue with is now, because of this, he's already going to be crucified in public. But now do we deny this man an opportunity to earn a living for his family? That's what I have a problem with. So I don't like what he did. I don't condone it. And I don't, people are layered. People are complex. He could be a cool dude here, but then, to another person, he could be the devil. You never know what people are. But then it comes down to the base necessity of a person to be able to make a living. So now, even though he did all this, since it's not football related, should he have a chance to go back to work, or should he just be left to his own devices? And that's what I have a problem with. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, life is bigger than football. There's a million other ways for you to make money, be successful. Football is a great job to have if you love it. But it's not life. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If you don't get back in the NFL, Bill Gates didn't play football. Mark Zuckerberg didn't play football.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I have an app. I'm trying to do what Mark Zuckerberg's doing.
Was it CatStar, right? Or
Yeah, CatStar.
CatStar?
Yeah, I'm trying to do what they're doing because they don't have concussions. They remember how to get
Yes.
home, and they're making billions of dollars. But I think because he loves the game, and I think that this could be turned into a positive. And I think also this shows people what we're trained to do. Okay, as a football player on Sundays, everybody's at church. If you're religious, you go to church. That's whatever you do. Sunday, the birds chirping, sunny, right? 10 a.m., 12 a.m. You're in church. 12 p.m. I'm sorry, you're in church, or 11, and then you're out at 12. And everybody's shaking hands and
if your pastor wraps it up soon enough,
yeah, everybody's happy, man. You got work Monday, but it's your last day of the weekend. You're chilling, you got a little barbecue, family come over. For me, at 10 a.m. on Sunday, no, I have to be crazy. I'm a human just like you, just like you. I'm exactly like you. I'm no different. But at 10 a.m., I have to go into that stadium. And I have to find something inside of me, or something about the other team, whatever it may be, that puts me in a different mindset. By 11, I have to be angry. Get my ankles taped. I'm having my headphones on. By 12, the game starts. I have to be furious. I have to be furious at someone that didn't do anything to me personally. Furious because you cannot play that game like that. Look at Tom Brady. Look at Peyton Manning. These guys are quarterbacks. These guys are lunatics on the field. Now, you see Peyton Manning in his Domino's commercials and his State Farm. No, that's not him on the field. Run the wrong route. You're getting cursed out, okay? And the next thing, you're getting cut.
Yeah.
It's that serious. Same thing with Tom Brady. Same thing with any of these, because it's a high-stakes game, and we have to take ourselves to different places. So if that's what I have to do on the field, and I literally go from 0 to 100, boom. Anytime something happens to me, even if it's not on the field, I have the ability to go from being, hey, what's going on, to what?
Yeah.
That quick, and be serious about it and be physical, because that's what we get trained to do. And I think this is an example of that, because if you see the tape, it started off very, it was an argument and a disagreement, and then it went from boom that quickly. It was horrible, and it was horrible to watch, and it was horrible. But as a football player, in practice, if someone pushes me in the back, and I could be having a good day, one play in practice, if everything's going smooth, offense is chilling, defense is chilling, we call it brother-in-law. You know, we're having a good time. You're okay. We're gonna get through practice. Everything's gonna be okay, right? One dude does something, the next play you better strap your helmet on because now it's live bullets. Anybody could get it at any time. Anybody
So
could
do
get
you
it.
think it's more? It's like in basketball, we competition. So when we get ready to play, it's different. And then you got some teams you play against, and it's a little bit more personal. So maybe a little more edgier or whatever. But are you saying like in football? Because this is new to me to hear it like this. I've always looked at it in every sport. You have to put on your game face and be competitive. But are you saying that your competitiveness, at least with the way you played it, and maybe it has to be unique for your position too, it's not just competition. You have to almost bring some hate out of you, almost some fury. Is it more of like a fury, or is it more just the competition?
It's not competition because that's not enough. Because if it's just competition and someone's hating you, they have a hard plastic helmet on. And within those white lines, there are pretty much no rules. You get a 15-yard penalty for something dirty. So if you hit me in the back and I'm pissed off and you piss me off in the first quarter, I might try to blow your knee out in the third quarter because I never forgot about that.
Damn, Thomas. Why you gonna blow somebody's knee out, man?
And it's not. But see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all within the parameters of the game. You see the fight
Yeah.
Des Bryant fight the other day, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And then
practice.
it's and I don't really watch. I'm on Twitter and stuff like that. And I don't really watch it, and it's on the news. Des Bryant already fighting, and it's like this is practice. This is you're literally in the most intense environment. The only thing that I can kind of compare to this would possibly be the setup of it is being possibly in the military. The only difference is we're using our bodies and we're not using weapons, but it's the same mentality.
Yeah.
If someone hits my quarterback or if someone does something, we're all fighting.
Yeah.
When you lose a quarterback or you lose a defensive a tight end or someone on offense, we're standing around looking at him like he's dead. Because that's our brother, and the next man has to stand up. And you know what? Look at Alex Smith. I mean, this guy had a great season for the 49ers, and then the guy's gone.
Yeah.
It's that's just and the next man has to step up and fall in line, and that's the same mentality that we have. So it's not that I'm trying to blow this guy's knee out because I'm trying to hurt him, but in the realm of football and the emotional hurricane that it is, you don't really think necessarily about what you're doing. All you're thinking is, these are all alpha males. The testosterone is just in the air, and you can't be the weakest link. You can't be the weakest link because they will pick on you. And as soon as they smell blood, they'll just continue to eat you.
And Thomas, you talk about how you channel that same energy from football into your acting career.
Yes.
So
Yeah, let's talk about some
let's
acting.
talk about some
Yeah, because now y'all gotta be
We
ready.
talked about
I feel like I'm at war now.
I was
Y'all
gonna
gotta
say,
put some
I'm
pads
ready.
up.
I saw him getting ready to I was
Ready
like,
to
that's
go to
a
war.
whole different side of him. I'm like, I'm
I know.
getting scared.
That's okay. You can come on next week and talk
Yeah.
some more football. Straight Outta Compton, you are in the movie that comes out on the 14th.
Yes.
Two-part question for you. Tell us a little bit about your role in Straight Out of Compton, and also tell us who your favorite NWA member is.
Oh man. Well, I have a role. I play one of Suge Knight's goons.
Goon.
And he actually sends me to Paul Giamatti's house
Okay.
to shake him up, and it was great. It was a great opportunity for me to work with Paul. He's a great actor. He's been in so many big projects, and for my career just to get started and to have just FaceTime one-on-one with him is like, I couldn't ask for anything better. It's a really good scene.
Okay.
It was really fun. It was really fun. I shot it in October in Calabasas, and honestly, I didn't even know who the guy was because he looked he looked different than he looked in The Negotiator, and he had a wig on and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't recognize him. I didn't really know it was him. And
funny.
it's so crazy how they make you look totally different. But it was a really fun scene. See, the concussion's already kicking. I can't remember the second question.
Favorite NWA member?
Favorite-
Dre, Eazy-E, Ren. Who's your favorite?
Cube.
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 Yeah.
That's-
Cube,
yeah.
man.
Cube.
I love them all though. Like
Yeah.
I love them all. Eazy-E is, man, and I'm from the East Coast, So I was when NWA came out, I kind of wanted to be from LA. I wanted to be from LA because it's like NWA, man. Yeah, I have a black hat on, and like it was just gangster.
Hey,
like,
Thomas, was it just me? Because I'm from Michigan. I'm from around Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
And I know Gary, the director. I know him very well. He's a good friend of mine. And Marlon Yates, who plays the DOC in the movie.
Okay.
And they've been telling me about this for a long time, the movie, and it's going to be good. But is it just me that was wondering why people, when you see videos with rappers back in L.A., how they would wear like skull caps and all this? You think it's hot in L.A.
Oh, blazing.
That's
one thing I
always
didn't
think about,
understand.
you know what I'm saying? Because I'll be like, why are they wearing these skull caps and
Yeah.
and stuff? I thought it's hot in L.A. Now since I live here, I know that it gets cold.
It gets cool.
Yeah, it
But
does.
but back where we're from, you from back east in Virginia, and back where I'm from in Michigan, it does get cold. But
Yeah. I mean, you would see the sun in a Scully, and it's like,
yeah, exactly.
How does that make sense?
yeah, it doesn't make sense. In Virginia, Michigan gets cold, but I've just, I realized that was just their style. Like on the East Coast, we wear Timberlands and hard denim jeans, and on the West Coast, they wear Scullys
Chucks.
and Chucks
Yeah.
and khakis, and it was crazy because I was on set, and I went to wardrobe, and he put like 10 different outfits on me, and Gary was literally studying me. And he was just like, take that off, take the hat off, put the hat back on, get him a tank top. Okay, get him some khakis, get him some Dickies, get him some house shoes, get him some zigzags. I'm like, zigzags? Like, I'm standing there for 20 minutes and they keep taking clothes off and on. And then he looked at me when I finally had the right thing on, and I'm looking at him like, and he's like, your tattoos? He's like, is that, what is that? I was like, oh, well, my mother's name's Betty. It's a Betty Boop. He goes, oh, okay, makeup, you need to do something with that because we can't see everything. And the next thing you know, I'm ready to go in the scene. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Cool.
He's a great, great director.
He
And
is.
I was just really, really fortunate to be able to work with him and Paul.
And then
Right.
being a Mary Jane, I know I've been tweeting today and putting posts on Facebook. A lot of my Facebook followers love you from
Oh,
being a Mary
wow.
Jane. Well,
Thank
first of
you.
all, we just love being Mary Jane in general.
It's a great
It's
show.
a great show.
Great show.
And you
Yeah.
talked about all your wardrobe changes for Straight Outta Compton. Being Mary Jane, you don't really have on any clothes,
No.
which is great. We appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about your experiences working with that cast.
You know what?
Well,
It was.
that says it all right there.
Looks a little shy there for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, as a football player, I'm fully clothed. I mean, we're like Batman. We have helmets on. People see me do my work with a helmet and shoulder pads on, and they know me by my number and they on the back of my jersey. So it was very awkward to go from being seen fully clothed to being seen with no clothes. And honestly, when I auditioned and I got my sides, I didn't read the parentheses so that set up the scene, and I had an idea of what it was, but I didn't really get it 100% until I actually got to set, and I went to wardrobe, and so I go in wardrobe, and I'm like, okay, where's my
Where's my helmet? My jersey?
shoulder pads, my pants, like,
You're
where's
like,
this stuff?
here you go.
Yeah, exactly. I walk in there and they're like, this is it. And I'm like, what? And they're like, this your robe, this little thing, sock thing, and your sandals, Adidas flip. I'm like,
Ron, don't get jealous over there. I know
Oh,
you.
no.
yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? So, I never, we ever wear jock straps in football, but this didn't have like any, like
Nothing.
nothing around the waist.
Oh my God.
So I looked and it was like my color. So I kind of like started put two together. I'm like, whoa, hold on a second, man. Hold on a second. So the guy's like, yeah, this is what you do. And I'm just, so then I did it. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, so, but you know what? It was cool because, I'm a professional and Gabrielle's a professional, and, we had really good chemistry, and Regina King directed the first episode I was
okay.
on. So it was really good to have that type of experience around, and two, great actors. I mean, pioneers. And I mean, just to be able to work with them on my first, because I had a cameo on Shameless, and I did a few other things, but this was really one of the bigger roles that I had, and it was a pretty intense situation because you have all these people from the network there, and I'm the new guy, and I'm the rookie, she's the veteran, Gabrielle's the veteran, I'm the rookie, so they all want to see what I want to do. They're like, is he going to go there? Is he going to go there? And
And you went
know,
there. That's good.
Yeah, I went there because I'm,
went
I'm like, listen, this is the character. This is Cuddy Buddy. This
Well,
is
they
what he
just broke
does.
you in like quick too. 'Cause
yeah,
that
it was-
was like
yeah.
4 or 5 years later, I finally got the role that challenged me. And
Can I say
Yeah.
something really quickly? My friend
Yeah.
my friend Anna Saxon from Waycross, Georgia, asked me to ask you to please have them start airing Being Mary Jane on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely reach out to some people at BET and ask if they could
Okay.
put it on
Yeah.
Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah, I want everyone to see it. It's a great show. My sisters watched it. I hadn't watched it before. 'Cause I've never really been a big TV guy, especially playing football for so long. Usually when I come home, I'm usually icing, or I'm at home and I go eat and I go back to the facility. So I was never really home that much to really watch TV, and I never really watched it that much, but I knew what it was about. My sister loved it, and they all loved Omari Hardwick from the season before. And it was weird because when I was cast, I kind of ruined the season for my sisters because
no.
they're like,
Oh, yeah.
they were happy that I was on there, but they're like, come on,
What?
like we can't watch like.
But my
Hey,
brother-
you know,
my
tell-
brother.
I think I'm the only one at the table that has never seen. I don't even know what the show's about.
It's a great show starring Gabrielle Union.
Okay.
And I guess who will be her co-star?
Gabrielle Union,
And Amari for a while.
Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree.
Oh, that's- yeah.
It's a really fabulous show. It's very well written, very well directed. The storylines are complicated enough, but they don't go over your head.
What's it about? Is it like?
It's essentially about dating, relationships. I mean,
Okay.
I could
I thought it was about weed. I swear I thought it was about weed.
No,
Is that something-
no.
No,
That's
no,
what
her
it
name
sounds
is,
like it, right?
well, Mary Jane Paul is the lead character's name is Gabrielle Union, and it's just about some of the situations that a black woman in America has to go through,
Okay.
and it shows a lot of the adversities, and she's very successful, and just her family situation, and it's just really well written. It's very edgy. It talks about a lot of issues that are really touchy. And I think that's why people like it, because they go there.
Yeah.
Much love to Salim and Mara Brock Akil. They've done a great job. They do a great job writing. Twinkie Bird, the casting director, she's
Twinkie.
the one that cast me for it. They really do a great job of making that show complete across the board, and I was very excited to be a part of it, just because there's a lot of issues there that people don't want to talk about, and I was excited to be a part of a show that dealt with some of those issues, because I think sometimes when you run from problems, you only make them worse. That's right. You need to be able to take these problems head on, and they're very bold, and this next season coming up is going to be, I think, better than last season.
Are you back next season?
You have to tune in to see.
No, you gotta have to
Tell
tune
me
in.
this:
Too,
Does
yeah.
does,
We'll take that as
does,
a
does
yes.
Gabrielle get naked? Does she get naked?
She gets a little naked sometimes. She gets naked. Her butt in the shower scene. We saw her butt a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah,
She's a good body too.
She she doesn't get naked, but this is her show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's her show, and
She can do whatever the hell she wants.
And it's tasteful. Like
Yeah, it's
it's not
tasteful.
gratuitous by any means. It's,
No,
it's very
but
tasteful.
she does whatever she needs to do to make this show happen. Gabrielle is like one of the greatest people on the planet, and she's been so supportive of me and my career. It's very hard to transition from football to acting, because as a football player, you're taught to be very tough and not be vulnerable, and transitioning to acting is a total opposite. You have to be
Right.
vulnerable. You have to be a human being for people to
Right.
like you and relate to you. And she was very, very patient with me, and she was very, very helpful. And we had really good chemistry. But I think because she was just very open and understanding, that it came out better than I could have imagined. So big shout out to Gabrielle. Union.
Cool.
Well, unfortunately, we have to get going. It's we're running out of
Okay.
time like 5 minutes ago. But I thought this is great conversation, so I'm going to keep it going. Okay, so I know you were on Runaway Island. It premiered July 25th. So if you guys maybe can check it out, maybe some replays or
Yeah, on
TV1.
TV1.
Yeah, TV1.
But when does Straight Outta Compton come out? August
14th in
which
theaters.
is a week from God.
Uh-huh.
God, this month's already flying by.
Yeah.
And so make sure you check out your theaters and go and support. And what else do we have to look forward to?
You know
to
what?
see
I
you.
have a technology company, and it's called CastStar Applications, and I'm kind of a nerd on the side, and you know, I'm on TechCrunch and Wired and Mashable and
wow.
all these. I mean, every day I'm addicted.
You're just into
And,
everything.
yeah, man. You know, yeah, I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying this mental freedom I have now that I'm not just locked in this football cage. But I've created an app. It's a social networking app that allows people to promote events, promote jobs, promote opportunities, and allows people to show their ability. It's not just entertainment; it's anything. So, the website's castarapp.com, castarapp.com. It's free for iPhone, Android, and Windows. This is if you're looking for opportunities, looking to promote anything, a party, a job,
That's great.
anything. I think it's going to be a pretty good app. We did a soft launch in March. We had so many people try to download it that we kind of had to stop pushing it because we wanted to do some updates.
Wow.
And
for
yeah,
you.
download it. It's free. It's fun. We're updating it now. In September, we'll have some pretty significant updates at the end of September. And yeah, I mean, besides that, I'm happy. I'm an actor. I get a chance to do something different. I get a chance to hopefully be an example for some of the other players to say,
Right.
hey, you know what? I'm not just a football.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and I hope Ray Rice does get an opportunity to play in the NFL again.
Quick question:
but,
Tom Brady guilty or innocent? Tom Brady.
We put you in a hot
I hope Ray Rice does get an opportunity to get back in the NFL, but if he doesn't, I would want him to know that there's way bigger things than football, and I hope he would find something else that he loves to do. Tom Brady, guilty or innocent? Guilty, man. Guilty is charged. I'm a Jet, man. I'm a Jet. So, you know, Jets and Patriots, you know, we have this. And I came in with Tom. I know Tom. Tom's a good guy.
Yeah.
But the Patriots, I will say this: they are the most disciplined team in the league. That's why they win all the time. And that game, I will say, the Colts got blown out. So regardless of the balls, could have been, you know, hot air balloons. It wouldn't have mattered. You know,
Yeah.
you still got blown out. So yeah, I mean, obviously they've had a history of doing some things, so I wouldn't really put it past them.
Okay.
But at the same time, I mean, what was the score, like 45-7? I mean, come on, give them. You didn't stand a chance anyway. So.
Thomas Q. Jones, thank you so much. You got to come back.
Yeah,
Please come back.
definitely. Have me back. I love it. Thank you.
And
Thank you, guys.
Ron Frierson, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Make sure you guys stick to UBN here. We're going to find out hopefully soon when Focus with Ron Frierson going to be launching.
Yes, that's
We're
right.
excited. And Erica, thank you so much for
That's
being
right.
here. And the Morning Score.
The Morning Score every other Wednesday. We are live next Wednesday at 10 a.m. And you can follow me on Twitter at Erica Renee D.
All right, I'm Tony Sweet, and stick around for one-on-one with Jasper Cole. With I think he has J. Anthony Brown on his
really?
show,
Nice.
so don't go anywhere. Honor Tony Sweet on UBN Radio.
This has been On Air with Tony Sweet. Don't worry, there's more online. Search On Air with Tony Sweet on iTunes for past shows and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. On Air with Tony Sweet every Wednesday and Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on UBNradio.com. In the future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and